This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
අතන මෙතන හැමතැනම තියෙන සේවාවන් එක තැනකට ගෙන MySLT app දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව. SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
IWS Aviation.
And a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mishain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. All shops to be closed from 11 p.m. tonight to 4 a.m. Monday, police spokesman informs. No decision to ban travellers or shut down the airports, Tourism Minister assures. News in detail. Police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana stated today that during the island-wide travel restriction which commences tonight, all shops with the exception of pharmacies will be forced to remain closed. The police spokesman urged the public to follow these recommendations in order to slow the dissemination of the COVID-19 virus across the country and to help authorities get the crisis under control. Health Ministry Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Sudat Samaravira claimed that a significant number of COVID-19 cases found in Sri Lanka are of the variant found in the United Kingdom. He further states that the related version is rapidly spreading with a high rate of complications and deaths. Commander of Sri Lanka Army and Head of the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak, General Shavindra Silva, announced today that 11 more Graminladari divisions and a town area have been isolated with immediate effect in Gampaha, Galle and Ratnapura districts. Newly isolated areas are Palugahavela Graminladari division in Divalapitiya police area in Gampaha district, Karandugoda, Govyapana, Kahawannagama and Dombangoda Graminladari divisions of the Ahangama police area and Lanamodara, Bona West and Katkurunda of the Habanaduwa police area in Galle district. In addition, Denavaka, Patkada and Dipitigala Graminladari divisions of the Palmadula police area and Kuruvita and town area in Delgamur Graminladari division of the Kuruvita police area in Ratnapura district have been isolated. The country's COVID-19 patient count reached more 133,527 yesterday with a discovery of 2,429 new COVID-19 cases. According to Health Promotion Bureau statistics, more than 24,725 people are under treatment for COVID-19 at the hospitals in Sri Lanka, with 108,802 being the cumulative number of COVID-19 cases recovered and discharged in Sri Lanka. The Director General of Health Services announced 18 more COVID-19 related deaths, bringing the total death toll in Sri Lanka attributed to the virus pandemic to 868 by last evening. Moreover, State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Channa Jayasumana, also confirmed that a total of 80,277 people were vaccinated with Sinopharm and Sputnik 5 coronavirus vaccines yesterday. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that no decision to ban travellers or close the airport has been made yet due to the current COVID-19 outbreak. The minister made these remarks to the media at the opening of the temporary COVID ward at Watupettivila Hospital in Athanagalla yesterday. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga states that future decisions on the closing of the airports or the restriction of tourist arrivals will be taken in compliance with health authorities' recommendations. According to the minister, a number of countries have halted flights to Sri Lanka as a result of the country's rising COVID incidents. Many Asian countries, including Kuwait and Dubai, have resumed flights between Sri Lanka, he said. Minister Ranatunga stressed that under the new rules, all international arrivals, including Sri Lankans, would undergo a mandatory 14-day quarantine at government-designated facilities regardless of vaccination status. In response to a journalist's query, the minister said that the government is working to offer the COVID-19 vaccine to all Sri Lankans over the next few months. He further states that the government has taken official measures to procure Chinese and Russian vaccines, as well as a second dose of the COVID Shield vaccine. India's coronavirus death toll surpassed 250,000 yesterday for the first time since the pandemic started. In the last 24 hours leading up to Wednesday, the Health Ministry of India recorded a new high of 4,205 deaths and 348,421 new infections, bringing the total to over 23 million. The international media reported that the second wave, aided by highly contagious variants in India that emerged in February, causes hospitals, medical personnel, crematoriums and mortuaries to overflood. Families were left to mourn over the dead in rural hospitals or camp in wards to care for the ill as the epidemic spread through India's countryside. The statistics from the World Health Organization shows that there have been 161,117,824 confirmed cases of COVID-19 recorded worldwide as of 12 May 2021, with over 3,346,557 fatalities. According to a World Health Organization Commission report published yesterday, the month of February last year was declared as lost because countries refused to take strong measures to halt the virus's spread. Despite the prevalence of previous public health risks such as Ebola, Zika and SARS outbreaks, the Independent Panel on Epidemic Preparedness and Response criticized countries around the world for being unprepared for the pandemic. At the launch of the report, panel co-chairman Ellen Johnson said that the COVID-19 pandemic was a preventable tragedy and that calling an emergency sooner may have spared 3.4 million lives. Furthermore, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention yesterday accepted a Federal Advisory Committee's finding that the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine is safe and reliable for teenagers aged between 12 and 15. Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break.
laptop දෙන surprise එක ආවනේ මේක තමයි නියම දිනම මේ රටේ එන්න මල්ලි මේ laptop fiesta SLT mobitel නම් වින්දමා reload සා bill payment දාලා ගන්න laptop එක දිනමු අපි කනෙක්ට් වෙලා
SLT Mobitel Mobile සහ Home පාරිභෝගිකයන්ට රීඩෝඩ් හෝ බිල් ගෙවන සෑම රුපියල් 50කටම ලැප්ටොප් දිනා ගන්න අවස්ථාවක්.
SLT Mobitel සමගින් දිනන්න.
SLT Mobitel එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
වැඩි දෙනෙකුට තෑගි දෙන්න අපි සූදානම්. සුපිරි වාසනා. තෑගි රටා වෙනස් වුණා. තෑගි වැඩි වුණා. දිනන්න පහසු වුණා. අපි අලුත් වෙලා. සුපිරි වාසනා හඹා ගියොත් දිනුම්.
NLV ජීවිතයේ සේනයට වාසනාවේ ආශිර්වාදය.
Welcome back after the break. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa states that the decision to use organic fertilizer was made in order to provide the country with a stable future generation. The president shared these views at a meeting with members of the Presidential Task Force on creating a green Sri Lanka with sustainable climate change solutions at the Presidential Secretariat recently. The President emphasized that according to the Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor policy framework, the country's entire agriculture sector should be converted to use only organic fertilizers. Speaking at the discussion, President Rajapaksa assures that the government is able to pay a higher price for paddy than the existing market price, while a guaranteed price is given if the yield is lowered due to the use of organic fertilizer. As a result, he said that farmers should not be afraid of the initiative. The President said that the government is willing to pay the burden in order for citizens to be able to buy rice at current prices. The President also highlighted that if companies that manufacture chemical fertilizers start manufacturing organic fertilizer, the government would be able to provide the requisite infrastructure. Taking part in the discussion, Presidential Special Representative and the Chair of the Task Force, Basil Rajapaksa, said that some battles were lost in the mission to save the country from terrorism. Finally, terrorism was defeated in the country. Similarly, the government is prepared to meet all obstacles in order to protect the people's right to a non-toxic meal. According to experts in the country, the transition of Sri Lanka's agriculture, which has been accustomed to the use of chemical fertilizers since the early 1960s, to the use of organic fertilizers, will be a special victory bestowed upon the people, equivalent to saving the country from battle. President of the Sri Lanka Medical Association, Dr. Anuruddha Padiniya, participating at the meeting with the President, said that a nation could be extinguished by an erroneous food culture and it is high time to save the Sri Lankans from that grave danger.
ජීනොසයිඩ් කන්වෙන්ෂන් එක කියවුවොත් එහෙම සමූල ඝාතන වැඩපිළිවෙලේ එකක් තමයි අපේ ආහාර සංස්කෘතිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම විනාශ කිරීම. මේක පිළිබඳ දත්ත පළ වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ආහාර සංස්කෘතිය තුලින් අපිව විනාශ කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. බටහිර වෛද්‍ය විද්‍යාව අනුව ගත්තත් මේ ආහාර සංස්කෘතියට වෙච්ච වෙනස් වීම නිසා අද අපිට හැදිලා තියෙන ලෙඩ රෝග එකකවත් හේතුව පැහැදිලි නෑ. අද අපිට වෙලා තියෙන දේ අපි කරුණු හතරක් යටතේ දකින එකක් සමා බෝනවන රෝග වැඩි වෙනවා. අපිට එදා තිබ්බේ නෑ මේව. 2014 ළමා රෝහලේ දියවැඩියා සායනයක් තිබ්බේ නෑ. දැන් ඔබතුමා ඇවිල්ලා බලන්න මගේ සායනෙට එහා පැත්තේ සායනේ දියවැඩියා සායනේ 2019 ළමයි 124ක් අලුතෙන් ළමයි හැටියට ලියාපදිංචි වුණා. ගිය මාසෙට මම මොලේ ගෙඩි 15ක් ඩයග්නෝස් කරා. එතකොට මේ වගේ නම්බර් එකක් අපිට තිබ්බේ නෑ. මම එංගලන්තේ වැඩ කරපු අවුරුදු දෙකටම ඔටෝඉමුන් එන්කෙෆලයිටිස් ලෙඩු 3 දෙනයි බැලුවේ. මේ මම සතියකට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 4 දෙනෙක් විතර දැන් ඩයග්නෝස් කරනවා. මේ සංඛ්‍යාව සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ පරිසරයේ තියෙන වසවිස. ඒක නිසා මම කිව්වේ මේ යුද්ධයෙන් බේරගත්තට වඩා ලොකු වැඩසටහනක් මේ කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙතන 1960 දශකයේ අපිට බලෙන් හඳුන්වලා දුන්න මේ සංකල්පේ ඉවත් කිරීම විතරයි මෙතන කරන්න තියෙන්නේ.
Embassy of Sri Lanka in Oman recently initiated export of Sri Lankan food products to a major supermarket chain in Oman. An official from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Sri Lanka told the State of Business that the move was taken under its economic diplomacy program in coordination with the Exports Development Board. Ambassador of Sri Lanka to the Sultanate of Oman, Amir Ajwad, opened an exclusive stall for the Sri Lankan products at the prominent Spar supermarket outlet at Madinat Al Sultan Qaboos in Oman. Spar Oman is a popular supermarket chain in Oman and the company runs 75 stores across the Sultanate of Oman. Embassy of Sri Lanka in Oman initiated export of Sri Lanka food products to Spar supermarket chain in Oman under its One Mega project to sell Sri Lanka products in other countries. The Foreign Ministry sources confirmed that EDB was behind throughout the project and will be assisting the ministry to bring it to other friendly countries. A 20-feet container of considered consignment of Sri Lankan food products consisting of Machi products and Arya food products arrived in Oman as the first phase. The officials also said that Oman received the first exclusive stall of its kind for Sri Lankan products. Ambassador Amir Ajwad extended his appreciation to the management of Spa Oman for making the exclusive arrangement on his request. He also added that the stall will facilitate to exhibit new Sri Lankan products to the consumers. Arrangements will also be made to open such exclusive stalls at the other prominent Spa supermarket outlets in Oman. Stay tuned for stock updates.
ලැප්ටොප් දෙන සර්ප්‍රයිස් එක ආවනේ මේක තමයි නියම දිනුම මේ රටේ එන්න මල්ලි මේ ලැප්ටොප් Fiesta SLT මොබිටෙල් නම් වින්දමා රීලෝඩ් සා බිල් පේමන්ට් දාලා ගන්න ලැප්ටොප් එක ලැප්ටොප් දිනමු අපි දැන් එක් වෙලා
SLT මොබිටෙල් මොබයිල් සහ හෝම් පාරිභෝගිකයන්ට රීලෝඩ් හෝ බිල් ගෙවන සෑම රුපියල් 50කටම ලැප්ටොප් දිනා ගන්න අවස්ථාවක්.
SLT මොබිටෙල් සමගින් දිනන්න.
SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
වැඩි දෙනෙකුට තෑගි දෙන්න අපි සූදානම්. සුපිරි වාසනා. තෑගි රටා වෙනස් වුණා. තෑගි වැඩි වුණා. දිනන්න පහසු වුණා. අපි අලුත් වෙලා. සුපිරි වාසනා හඹා ගියොත් දිනුම්.
NLB ජීවිතයේ සේනයට වාසනාවේ ආශිර්වාදය.
Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained by 66.46 points to close at 7,228.23 and the S&P SL20 gained by 19.09 points to close at 2,869.52. The turnover was 1.2 billion rupees and over 61 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business. Until then, take care and good night.
දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට My SLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව